From the inner workings of an extreme sport to a series of accidents associated with it, this is what happens when paragliding goes wrong. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to They Will Kill You. Hit the like button and request any topics you'd like to learn about in the comments section below. Paragliding is an adventure sport that involves the use of a free-flying wing to which the pilot is connected by a harness and a network of suspension lines. The fabric wing has vents at the front which maintain its elliptical shape as air pressure builds up. The aerodynamic forces of the air flowing outside the wing and the suspension lines enable gliding while maintaining its shape. The pilot can steer, adjust speed, and flare through controls in each of their hands that connect to the left and right sides of the wing. Launching and landing are done into an airstream, either by running or being pulled. The wing gets into a position that can carry the pilot's weight before lifting them off the ground. Even though the paraglider doesn't use an engine, flights can go across hundreds of miles and thousands of feet up into the air. As with many extreme sports, there are a number of risks associated with paragliding, including death. Number 5. Matt O'Donnell. As he was preparing to take off a cliff in New South Wales, Australia, experienced paraglider Matt was caught in a whirlwind, commonly known as a dust devil. This happened on January 2, 2019, and a video of it went viral online. O'Donnell's wife was forced to watch helplessly as he was swept away on a terrifying ride. In the video, she's heard screaming in terror and asking if he's okay. Fortunately, thanks to his experience, O'Donnell kept his composure and maintained control of the glider despite being suddenly and rapidly spun around. He got out of the dust devil and continued his flight unharmed. It was a fortunate scenario, but the video serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that paragliders face. Before we move on, answer this question. What's the highest paragliding flight on record? A. 15,000 feet. B. 20,000 feet. C. 25,000 feet. D. Over 25,000 feet. Let us know what you think in the comments section below and stay tuned to find out the right answer. A paraglider is unique among human-carrying aircraft since it's so portable. On average, wings have a surface of 220 to 380 square feet, a span 26 to 39 feet, and a weight of 7 to 16 pounds. It may sound like a lot, but the harness and wing can typically be stored inside a single backpack. This means that transporting the equipment is easy and that paragliding can be practiced virtually anywhere, provided that the wind is right. The earliest patent of a gliding parachute came in 1952 from Canadian pilot and inventor Domina Jalbert. The first official paragliding world championship was held in Austria in 1989. Nowadays, popular paragliding destinations include the mountainous regions of Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and France, but also areas in Brazil, Australia, and Turkey. Number 4. Peggy Williams. In May 2009, Peggy Williams was paragliding in Andalusia, Spain, when a freak gust of wind caught the wing of her glider. The 47-year-old was catapulted through the air and plummeted 20 feet onto a rocky outcrop below. Since her wing was still inflated, she was dragged stomach first over the jagged rocks for what she said felt like an eternity. Williams was airlifted to Malaga, where she received treatment after suffering a torn liver and a nearly severed pancreas. The doctors would later explain to her that it was her level of physical fitness that ultimately saved her life. Her strong abdominal muscles acted like a girdle and protected her internal organs. Williams credited her life-saving muscles to a 1-minute daily regime that involved sit-ups, bicycle sit-ups, and lateral crunches. Paragliding takes pilots thousands of feet into the air at speeds of anywhere from 12 to 47 miles per hour. The most obvious fear is harness failure and a deadly drop. However, equipment is rarely the cause of accidents, as most of them can be attributed to pilot error. The worst thing a pilot can do is misjudge their abilities, fly when they're tired, or in harsh weather conditions. Dangers include crashing into mountain ridges, getting caught in overwhelming winds, or coming in too hard on the landing. These can all result in broken bones, internal organ damage, and even death. There's also a risk of paragliders crashing into each other, which is usually more common in a competition setting. So, what's the highest flight on record? The right answer is D, over 25,000 feet. In July 2016, Anton Girard flew over Broad Peak in Pakistan, the 12th tallest mountain on Earth. Over the course of the 7-hour flight, he reached a staggering altitude of 26,762 feet. Number 3. Ronaldo Faro. In March 2015, Californian man Ronaldo Faro and his daughter Sierra were on a tandem flight near Santa Barbara. Faro was an experienced pilot who wanted to show his daughter the beauty of paragliding. Unfortunately, the flight ended in tragedy. Faro wasn't properly clipped into his harness, and as the wing caught air, he became detached and fell to his death from over 1,000 feet. Sierra remained strapped into the glider and crashed into a mountainside. She suffered only minor injuries and was flown by helicopter to a nearby hospital. Official They Will Kill You merchandise is now available at theywillkillyou.com. Some of it is to die for. Number 2. Incident in San Diego County. In March 2019, 2 paragliders crashed into each other in San Diego and suffered a deadly 75-foot fall onto a steep cliff face. One of the men was qualified to fly on his own, while the other was in the process of getting his advanced qualification, according to officials from the San Diego Fire Rescue Services. As the pilots crashed into each other, the gliders became tangled. According to one eyewitness, a crash was heard, and afterwards she saw 2 men falling from the sky. Their position on the cliff meant their bodies could only be retrieved via helicopter. Survival in paragliding is a combination of proper gear, proper training, and proper judgment. To minimize risk, you should use a wing designed for your proportions and skill level, a cushioned harness, a helmet, and a reserve parachute. Other pieces of equipment include a barometer, which helps the pilot determine sinking or rising air, a radio, and a GPS. Always check the gear for any faults prior to a flight. You should be fully aware of the features that come with the paragliding site, including obstacles and wind conditions. Training with competent instructors in wing handling and emergency maneuvers is another essential step in avoiding accidents. Number 1. Grant Thompson. Grant Thompson had built a YouTube channel entitled The King of Random, with over 11 million subscribers and billions of views. Thompson worked as an airline pilot for more than a decade, then shortly in real estate prior to becoming a successful YouTuber. Thompson's followers and many of his fellow YouTubers were saddened when news emerged that he died in a paragliding accident in late July 2019. The 38-year-old had taken off in a paraglider near Sand Hollow State Park in Hurricane, Utah. When he didn't check in, a missing person report was filed. Thompson's body and crashed paraglider was subsequently located by a medical helicopter through the tracking of his GPS device. The police recovered a recording which they hope will shed some light on the accident, but foul play wasn't suspected. In an Instagram post, Thompson's family asked his followers to do a random act of love and kindness to honor the passing of the King of Random. Thanks for watching. Imagine you were paragliding and something went wrong. Would you rather make an emergency landing in a forested area or in a large body of water? Let us know in the comments section below.